Good morning, good afternoon, good motherfucking evening. Buenas motherfucking noches. This is, I don't even go through the name. I ain't going through the intro. What I want to do is I want to apologize for the hiatus and everything like that. It's not that things were going bad or anything like that. I actually been celebrating life, been celebrating accomplishments, celebrating my cousin having a wedding, amazing gender reveal, amazing celebration of his wife's birthday. Like this is part of family now. And that's one weekend, and also my birthday passed and everything like that. So we had to celebrate that. We had to be outside for a second. And it's a great thing to be outside because you want to celebrate life in its entirety and everything like that. So there's certain times you gotta take off from what you're doing or like work wise. Like, I work on my clothing line, I work on this, I work on other things and everything like that. But I want to talk to y'all. I want to be there for you. I want to say what I'm gonna say and put this on a recording, put this on a podcast. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad to be back. Glad to hear everybody doing good. Love and blessings to you all. But we're fucking back. So to continue the journey, to continue everything. But I'm gonna tell you something about my experience and things that I've seen. So as you know, I'm a single man out here. Just turned 37. No kids, Enjoy life. My mama always told me, yo, go enjoy your life before you have kids because when you do, it's more about the kids than yourself. You have to be selfless, super selfless. Not selfish, but selfless. So I'm looking through everywhere and every avenue. Well, I tried to look at every avenue, try to, 'cause certain things you have to develop a confidence. Not to say I'm not a confident man, I'm not saying that, but I'm so stuck in relationship mode. And I'm not saying that I'm in a relationship or anything like that. But like when you're stuck in a relationship loop for a while, like you've been in relationships for a minute, the singleness of life when you go into singlehood, like it kind of is like an adjustment. Now people say it's easier. People's like, you know what? You have a little bit of time, you have more fun, you have all that. But it's still an adjustment because eventually when you enjoy your singlehood and you enjoy life going out there, which I do, not saying I don't, but when you try to look for somebody, try to look for companionship and all that stuff, it kind of is an adjustment. Well, for me, I can only speak on me. And all these things I'm saying is all from my experience. Like I do the swipey swipes, I do all that shit, you know what I'm saying? In terms of like outside, bro, I lost the fact of hollering at people. Like I don't know how to do that anymore. Like I'm more like reserved, more observant, more like, yo, I'm gonna let you be. I'm gonna watch your moves. And not I don't want to say that I'm not confident enough to do it. It's just I think it's the failure of it, which we are afraid of, and we always have to get over that part. And I even told my cousin, I was like, this year, that's what something I'm gonna work on. So I think I'm waiting until summertime because it's cold outside. You feel me? Especially in Jersey, we just had an earthquake too, and and just things happen over here. It's just cold. So you really don't want to be. I mean, you can, but it's just cold. So I would say if you want to be outside, usually the time to be outside in the summer. So summertime, I'm gonna try to work on it. You know what I mean? But that's besides the point. Let's say I do conquer all that. Let's say I have all my ducks in a row. Let's say everything is copacetic, everything is cool. Now I could just be outside talking, everything like that, trying to explore everything. This is where it gets interesting. And this is the topic I'm gonna go into. There's gonna be a couple parts of this topic because I feel like it's not fair for me as a man to talk about this and not have the female aspect of it. The topic I have today, which I have entitled The Pressures of a Man, especially trying to holler at somebody. Or I'm gonna try to condense it, whatever the case is, but this is exactly the topic. The pressures of a man when you try to get to know somebody. The ghetto version. Now, the reason I say the ghetto version is because I want to give a disclaimer real quick before I proceed further. This is an audio description of what I've been seeing outside. Now, this is not to generalize women in a box to where everybody's doing it. Like, for example, my people that I fuck with, they're different people. People that they other people that I know, whatever the case is, some of them are different, some of them are not. But I'm just not gonna say shit because I'm not here mentioning names, neither talking shit. But this is what I've been seeing. This is not a generalization. This is not something that I'm like, oh, all women do this. No, this is what's portrayed in what I've seen in social media, what I've seen in the outside world. Why I tell my people, bro, it is ghetto out here, dog. And I say ghetto out here in terms of it is very crazy. It is very confusing. It is very complex in the dating world because of the fact of there's so many standards, there's so many things that a woman, and like I said, I could only speak on my perspective, but a woman is looking for, and what they're seeing in a man, what they require from a man, what they want in a man, it is crazy out here. So the fact that we have to go through loops, circles, fucking obstacle courses, and we're talking about figuratively, we're not talking about literally. And it could be literally, to be honest with you, because I won't be surprised if they have something where you got to go through a whole obstacle course just to date with somebody, or just to get a date with a female. It's getting crazy to that point where it's like, bro, like you gotta be fucking kidding me. Back then, it used to be simple. Like when you used to talk to somebody, be like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" and have a conversation. Now it's a more of a preemptive thought before you can even get the word out. And this is now the life that we are seeing because I think the influences of social media and other outside influences now have more of an open door of expressing themselves, which made, in my opinion, made everybody think a whole lot harder before even at getting the word of a hello out. It's more of I look at you, nah, I don't want it. Get out of my face type of shit. Because that's how we are today now. We're not, yo, somebody was nice enough to say what's up, like, and entertain the idea. And maybe that could be your love at your second or to eighth sight and shit. Now it's more of, yo, if you ain't about the bread, you ain't about your money, you ain't about your life, da 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 da, get out my face. And this is even before you could get a hello out. And this is proven time and time again. And I obviously have my proof. So I will go into the bullet points of it. So the first bullet point I have is when a woman looks at a man from a providing standpoint, what can he do for me with his bread? Again, what can he do for me with his bread? Now I'm a little bit more passionate. You see, I'm a little hoarse right now. I get like my voice a little gone, but I get a little tight about it. And the reason I get a little tight about it, what I was telling my homegirls yesterday, I was like, bro, if you ask him for bread, especially a female asking a man for bread, bro, you better have your own. Like, to be honest with you, if I'm over here giving you bread to prove a point for me, to get in your space, and you didn't invite me in your space without that, bro, you should never do that. You should never be in a mindset of, yo, let me try to trick out here to try to get to her and everything like that. It never works. Because 99% of the time the woman is not interested in you. Only interested in the how you provide. And that's what I was telling my homegirls yesterday. Because I think it was a situation we was talking about, whatever the case is. But from what I'm seeing, and this, like I said, again, I'm gonna repeat it again. This is not a all woman thing. This is what I'm seeing from my aspect and everything. There are some females out here that have the nerve to judge somebody without even talking about their salary. And this is the first bullet point I have. When somebody, in this case a female, looks at you in a provider standpoint. There is a clip out there, and I think this clip was like a couple of weeks ago, a month ago, whatever the case is. It was about somebody saying that if you got $50,000 as a salary, don't date. And I looked at her, I was like, oh, get the fuck, like, what the fuck is wrong with people, dog? Like, where did it become thing where now my salary has to be a qualification for me to even talk to you, for me to even try to get to know you. That's fucking crazy. Get it to a point where it's a relationship, then you could decide, all right, how are we going to make the next step to get you more money so that we could level up, that we could get more money. That I'm saying we in these sentences, we, you know what I'm saying, that y'all build together. What is it a qualification that if I say, yo, I just make 45 doing something, that you rule it out because I do that? What if he's the greatest man in the fucking world and he makes 45? You miss out on a whole fucking chance. Now, I get it. People have preferences. People have different things. People have an idea of what they want. But it gets crazy when you use that as a qualifier to even talk to somebody. That shit is crazy. I feel like that is wild. Like, I think us men look more into your personality than your money. You feel me? But that's because we come from a provider standpoint. So we, as pressures of a man, we do have that role. But I'll get more into it. But this lady, going back to this lady had the fucking nerve to say, yo, you know what? Nah, fuck that. Let me play this shit. 'Cause I just want to refer to that shit. Hold on.
Okay, so talk about because we do have male listeners as well. So
Right.
talk about what dating would look like for a guy who's maybe making just like 100,000 a year. And he's a high value man
Mhm.
in every aspect of it. He's a
Just 100,000 a year. I already know where this is going. I already know where this is going. I done fucked up. I clicked this
Shout out to them niggas. Them niggas hilarious.
just 100,000 a year. You know what I know where this is going? Where is this? Where's it going? Delusional.
maybe he doesn't have the income to be, giving $10,000 to a woman to, invest in her business. So what does dating look like for like the average? 100,000 is not even the average person.
Right. Let's keep it.
So let's keep it real. For the average person who is making $50,000, that's a good person. What does dating look like for them?
So if you're making $50,000, don't date.
Ooh.
I'm just being for real. You're not ready to date. And you're not ready to date because courtship costs.
Okay.
Everything costs.
Okay.
You can go for 22 walks in the park, but eventually, Shorty is gonna need a sip of something. She's gonna be thirsty. This bottle of water is $3 in Atlanta. Let's play. So if you don't have any expendable cash, don't date. And whatever that looks like for you, you might only make 50,000, but you live in a shoe. And now you got expendable cash.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm not saying you gotta pay to play to be with a woman. I'm simply saying courtship costs.
Right.
It is not free
It's
to
not.
date. Like some of us can't even take our homegirl out and it's free.
That's true. Yeah.
You peeling off a little check for shorty. So it's like, why do we expect anything else of women with a man? Like, fellas, if you're broke, don't date. You're not ready to date yet. Or get you
50,000 is not broke, but okay.
Oh, hold on. These niggas is actually doing a great job with narrating. But hold on. I'm gonna continue just to give you the gist of it.
like, why do we expect anything else of women with a man? Like, fellas, if you're broke, don't date. You're not ready to date yet. Or get you a bottom of the barrel bitch that's gonna date you when you have no money.
That's what I was about
You
to
understand?
ask.
If she doesn't want anything financially from
Right.
you, if she doesn't have that expectation, and I'm gonna tell you this right now, enjoy it while it lasts because eventually you're going to want to run because she doesn't stretch you. She doesn't make you the man that you need to become in order to thrive in this world.
Right.
She doesn't set expectations for you. She allows you to be this stagnant dude in the same jeans for 3 days. You know what I'm saying? And
Jesus, wow. You be cutting up. I'm talking about.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy how she's cooking somebody because the way that she views somebody that has less than 50 is like that, bro. That shit is crazy. And this is about, she was talking about dating. She wasn't talking about being in a relationship or anything like. She was talking about talking to somebody. That what's crazy is I think the national average of somebody making bread is like 45 to 50. I think it's 40 to 45 or something like that. So the average amount of people can't date because they make 45,000, which is stupid to me. I feel like that is the most absurd thing I've heard. Like, because you can still get to know somebody and level up with them. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's people though. This is where I'm seeing all this shit. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with people? What is their mindset of, yo, You gotta be a motherfucker that makes. I be hearing only 100, only 150. If you don't even got it, if you don't even have that bread, shut the fuck up. Literally, shut the fuck up. And I'm saying this passionately because it's a lot of people have expectations on the other people when they can't even do it themselves. And again, I repeat it, this is not to generalize a woman in that aspect. Some woman that has a platform that's speaking out like this, yo, should be smacked in the head or some shit like that. And I don't condone violence and that shit, but I mean that figuratively. Because it's no way that you look at somebody. It's not like you're talking to somebody and then you get to know that information, all that stuff. It's not even that. It's when you talking, you're dating. She said dating. So in that situation, it's like, bro, like, you fucking kidding me? Like, who the fuck are yo, you can't be cutting up like that and not expose your fucking finances. You better be making some type of fucking outrageous number for you to be talking shit like that. Literally. And even if you do that, you're still in the wrong because you're demeaning people. You're putting people down in well, she said bottom of barrel, bitch. So if everybody gotta be bottom of barrel because you said it, come on, like. But this is what we're seeing. We're seeing people get judged trying to date, trying to court somebody off of their finances. Fucking wild to me. That clip alone, I was like, bro, I don't know why people be having podcasts and shit like that. Now, I mean, I try to speak the truth. I try to be as truthful as I can, bro. But these people be fucking what Abba and Preach said. Shout out to them and shit. Delusional. The Lulu. You feel me? These people are fucking bugging the fuck out. Like, it's wild. It's the fucking wild, wild west out here, dogs. And this is just off the money aspect alone, bro. That's one clip. Obviously, the money aspect is a big thing. So I have another one. And this is not off of a podcast. This is actually off of a person from a dating show that I've been watching and everything that I think it's the Pop the Balloon with Arlette. Shout out to them too. Like I'm shouting everybody out because these are the resources I be getting. These are the sources. Like if it's like I'm typing a paper and I have to have the ABA MLA format. These are the sources, right? And this is about the same topic about dating. So there was another female on that episode where I think they had 7 or 8 females, and one dude comes through and everything like that. And obviously, if they're not interested, they pop the balloon. If not, they keep the balloon and they keep asking questions until they get to a point of um, the last balloon, and then try to see if they're a match or they're a dove in terms of that, and all of them pop the balloon. This lady, think observing the situation, asked him about his salary. Now you don't know this man from a can of paint and shit, and you asking this man about his fucking salary. You know what? No, fuck that, fuck that. I love my proof. So here.
You know, as far as my balloon, I did keep it. I'm not gonna lie, hearing you talk, you're a little sassy, so I do have questions before we proceed and continue.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. Yeah. So first off, you said you're in accounting, finance.
Yes, I'm a professional.
What's
accountant.
your approximate salary?
You want to know how much I make?
Approximate.
Oh wow.
Just an approximate. I know it's the internet, so you don't have to say the specifics, but like a range. Just a range.
I mean, you can probably go and Google on Glassdoor. I'm not going to reveal my finances in a public setting in this manner. It's a private matter. I'm not going to do that.
It's okay.
So you're asking me, so if it was above the number you wanted, you would have kept it. If it was below the number you wanted, you would have popped it.
If you had answered, there would have been a possibility for both, but because you refused to answer,
You wanna know how
that's
much
when
I made?
your balloon popped.
So because so it's a money thing. That's okay. You should have popped it earlier.
Yo, that is fucking wild. The fact that she asked that question. Now he did give obviously his title and everything like that over his specialty. Now from that alone, you kind of know what range it is if you're knowledgeable in that field. Like you kind of know what range. But the fact that she asked about specifics and had an idea preemptively before even popping the balloon is wild. And that to me is like, bro, so you just looking for somebody with money. Just say that. Just be real and just say that, bro. Again, I'm all about the honesty part. So if you honest about it, bro, I respect you way more than you preemptively having this and making moves around it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that dude because he actually pointed it out afterwards. First, he was like, "Oh, nah, it's the internet. I'm not gonna disclose it." But then afterwards, he was like, "Bro, so it's all about money." Hmm. Okay, cool. Like you should have said that. You should have been popped this shit because I'm not about to date somebody that's just looking for money. So shout out to him. Like he knew what time it was. He didn't want to be rude, but he actually was like, you know what? Nah, it's all about money with you, my nigga. So peace out. You feel me? I'm out, dogs. Like he did good with that. You know what I'm saying? He handled it well. And this is two. Those are two clips. Those are two clips that kind of describe that attribute, that bullet point alone. There's plenty of more. I could go into depth with this, but that's the pressures of us. We have to make a certain amount preemptively in their minds, in some people's minds, in order to even get entertained, which is the fucking craziest shit because it's like, bro, you better have that bread. If not, bro, don't even talk to me about that shit. You feel me? Don't put that as a requirement. Maybe a preference, maybe cool, but a requirement, bro, that's wild to me. But that's the pressures for us that we got to deal with. And there's more. Obviously, there is more. Now, the next bullet point I have is pressures of a man due to his fucking clothes. Now, I can give you an example of how this relates quickly. And it relates quickly. For example, the sneaker game. Now, the sneaker game, yo, if we by any chance of reason have bootleg anything, we get looked at crazy, right? And it's not only a woman thing; it's a everybody thing. You feel me? Um, there are certain aspects in terms of like clothes, like they want you to make sure that you on your tippy top. If you not on your tippy top, bro, you all on the dub list. You are out of here. So I actually lied. I do have proof. I just found it. I thought I was gonna talk through this shit to this bullet point, but I have one. Hold on. Let me play it for you. The hikes in here.
Because yeah, I was trying to figure out what it was, but yeah, it was definitely the distraction of the see-through pant, and then
I mean, they
the
ivory.
jewelry, like the earrings for me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
No, I
So I have to go based off looks,
yeah, we splitting hairs in here, so
more or less.
more or less. All right.
Okay, and then let's go down here. You end up.
Hold on, hold on. Now, mind you, the description I have, he has a button up, the white dress pants, ivory dress pants, and nice shoes. Like he was dressed well. You know what I mean? He was on some, on some clean cut type of shit. And yo, she cut him for having fucking see through pants, which Ivory does that. It depends on the lighting. In that show, in that dating show, there's white lighting, so you kind of see shit. But like, he dressed nicely for the occasion, and you still cut him off of that. That shit is fucking wild, bro. This is what I'm talking about. This is one person. And she basically stated, I wish and I hope that somebody said it before me, which means that she kind of like sniffed out the room, was like, yo, I kind of know what they thinking, kind of shit, but I'm going to say it. And cut him off of that, which is fucking wild. I'm like, bro, this is, yeah, woo. It's crazy. Like, yo, just talking about this makes me laugh. You feel me? But yeah, like clothes, like we get judged off of clothes. Like shit is wild, bro. Like, and even in a standard, like for us going back to the sneaker game, if we wear a fake show, we get cooked. Men, women, aliens, fucking third dimension beings. Like you get cooked, bro. Like you feel me? And in a woman perspective, the woman can wear anything and look good in it. You feel me? And that's usually the case. Now, sometimes it's, they got a little bit of fucked up shit, but most of the times they could cook up something on some regular shit, and do they thing. We get looked up on, yo, you wearing that? Like, you feel me? It's more of a pressure of a man for us to have our upkeep in terms of even clothes. And this I've seen throughout the years being, in the sneaker games, reselling all that shit, and niggas looking at your shit like, yo, that shit funky. Like, you feel me? Like, I ain't never seen a person when they looked at female shoes, they was like, oh shit, bootleg, get the fuck out of here. Like, I never seen it. Never seen it. So I know that's a pressure as a man. Sometimes it's like, bro, we gotta look our best. And that's even just to go out on a regular basis. So imagine dating and you're getting the reaction of a video clip that just played. Like, the shit is crazy, bro. The pressures that we gotta deal with, bro. Money, looks. The next thing I have is off of a first impression. Boy, like, yo, it's money, looks, not first impression. Then obviously that first impression too was you're looking at the person, and when looking at the person, you're like, do they match my preference? And a lot of people, and especially in this clip I'm about to play, they look at height, which men in itself, and I can only speak on because I'm a man, off of height. Height. Shit that we can't control, we get looked upon like crazy. That shit is wild to me. I'm like, bro, how is that a legit preference? Is everybody has their preference. Again, I respect it. You wish what you want what you want, cool. But when you have shit that you're putting a requirement on things that can't be controlled, boy, that's a little tricky, dog. Actually, fuck all the talking real quick. Let me play it.
I have heels on right now, and he is almost lining with me. So he's a little bit too tall for me.
Okay. So he's too tall for you. So you actually prefer a shorter man.
Yeah, I want you to look up at me. You need to.
We were just talking.
Yeah, I don't like.
Okay, I thought you were saying
I thought it was that.
since you've been dating so many short men, you wanted somebody taller, but
It's the opposite. It's literally just because he is already my height with heels on. So that means if I take my feet off, I'm looking up at him. He's not looking up at me.
okay.
You hear, and I wish you could see the video just to see the woman's reaction when she said that. They was like, what? But he's tall, like he's what it's supposed to be. And she was like, no, no, no. I just don't want it too tall. Shit that motherfuckers can't control. And I apologize. I was gonna say niggas, but I was gonna say it anyway. But motherfuckers can't control. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, how is that a fucking? It's. I seen a video which I'm not gonna put up. This one, I seen a video on IG where they asked the lady in the beach. They was like, "Yo, you prefer a higher height, right? I'm 5'9", whatever." And they was like, "Yeah, I need like 6'2", 6'3", da 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 da." So my man brought a scale. It was like, since you can't control my height, whatever the case is, step on the scale, and I'm gonna see how if we prefer your type of thing. And she ran the fuck off, which is crazy because it's like, bro, it's not in terms of weight, you can't control that. In terms of height, you can't, and you still get looked upon. Crazy part is he got cut off because he was too tall. And the woman, and even the co-host, if you hear her laughing, they're like, that's a first. Like, we really have a standard that he gotta be tall. But you said what? Like, you feel me? And the fact that they reacted that way goes to show you that the preference, almost a standard of some of the females that date, is height. And that's, I think, to me, is one of the most, I'm saying absurd a lot. lately, but absurd excuse of a preference. And some of them again make it a standard, and I'm like, what? Like, how the fuck? So if we made weight a standard, or we made something that you can't control the standard, then we get looked at like we're fucking dickheads. And I seen some people do that, and they are dickheads for that. You feel me? But as a pressure of a man dealing with that type of shit, that shit is crazy, because you could be the most sweetest motherfucker ever. You could be providing, you could be sweet, you could be a great man in all aspects, but shit that you can't control, you get dubbed on. Shit is crazy. Sometimes it's like that. And again, I repeat it to you plenty of times. People have every right to have their preference, but make it reasonable at times. You know what I'm saying? If it's a big issue with height, don't be mad when somebody judges you on something that you can't control. So, next bullet point I have is us taking care of the bills as a provider. Now, they should have went with the first part. And the only reason I wrote it down here is because it reminds me of the 50-50 argument that people be having. If we say 50-50, we're trying to level up with you. And this state of the economy with inflation and everything like that, people are getting together and be like, yo, let's live together to save money, because it's expensive out here now. So when we talk about 50-50, I don't think it's realistic now that somebody could go 100-0 and the one that provides nothing does nothing. There has to be some type of compromise now that inflation is happening, everything's getting more expensive, depends on where you live and everything like that. And also, it's almost unfair to whoever's 100-0 that they have to provide everything and can't level up with you not doing nothing. Now we're more of a modern society, so where we want everybody to be kings and queens. And this is the reason why we do 50-50s, because we split everything and we still work on budgeting, and we still work on things that we want to do. If, let's say, for example, and I had this discussion with my mama, if I make more, then do 60-40 or whatever the case is, so that everything could even out. At first, I was a little like, I feel like 50-50 is fine because we're splitting everything in half, this and the fourth. And my mama, love my mama to death, one of the wisest people in this earth. She was like, bro, it's not fair to the person that makes less than you that have to still pay the same amount that you do. If you love that person, you will consider you making more and making a mathematical calculation of how much you make according to how she makes, and calculate it to where it could be 60-40, 70-30, however you decide to split the cookie. So therefore, you don't put pressure on the woman when you're trying to level her up. My mama was so right in that. And I had to learn, this was years ago, I had to learn that shit. I was like, you know what? I should have done that. Because I was always 50-50, because I always wanted the woman to be a queen, to be, even if she was with me, like I wanted her to be independent, have her own money, just in case that I'm not there, yo, I built a legacy within her so that she could grow up to be a great queen, a great woman. That was my mindset. But one of the little things I was wrong with was going 50-50. And the ladies usually make less than me. So I should have, evened out the playing field, be like, yo, since I make more, I'm gonna pay a little bit more. You pay this amount, and we can grow together. And let's level you up at the same time, and let's level each other up. You feel me? So the pressures, even bringing up 50-50, and this should have been brought up in the first bullet point. But now that I got reminded, and it's in my notes, even if we bring up 50-50, yo, there's podcasts drilling the life out of it. There are conversations drilling the life out of 50-50. They want the old school way where they are stay-at-home mom. They're dependent on the household provider, the breadwinner, and everything like that. But in this day in society, it's not realistic. And on top of that, I feel like we should all level up together. Honestly. So 50-50, or however you cut it to where it's a percentage is acceptable. And I think it's the most reasonable thing that you can do to build each other, not to hinder one another. If you're taking care of one another, the other person is basically being dependent on you. If something happens to you, don't know what they can do because they're not providing anything. So the pressures of even bringing up 50-50 nowadays is crazy. You have to tread lightly with that conversation, especially towards a female or towards an opposite sex, because of the fact of you have to explain it correctly. And the reason is why you want 50-50. Because now you're getting drilled. You're getting fucking murdered out here of why you want 50-50. Well, you're not going to provide. You're not going to be a provider. Like, what's going on with you? Like, you just out here trying to hustle us. Da, da. Like, I heard of that before. So the pressures are even that of bringing up 50-50. Going back to the first bullet point of the provider standpoint of a man. Pressures that we have. It's basically a reminder of that. But anyways, the next bullet point I have is the pressures of a man for being too fucking nice, boy. I have literally fuck videos or anything like that for right now. I have experienced this fully. For example, long time ago when I was in high school, I was infatuated with this one lady. Short, Puerto Rican. Forgive me, Lord, for I talk that shit, but she was, her bosom was out there, you feel me? Like, she just looked good to me. So I tried my hardest to try to date her. I think I was a sophomore and she was a senior. It was already a pressure of that. If I wasn't a senior, it was a wrap. But I tried so hard. Try to be sweet, bring her flowers, walk her home, make sure that she's okay, talk to her about things. She would talk to me about things. And I eventually had the courage to be like, yo, I like you. Like, I like you a lot. Like, you from similar hoods and whatever the case is. Like, you from the hood next to me and whatever the case. Like, yo, you look good. Da, 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 da. The woman told me, she was like, yo, I can't date you. You're too nice. I was like, what? I'm too what the fuck? Like, are you motherfucking kidding me? Like, I at first didn't understand it because I was like, okay, that's perfectly fine. But then in my sleep, I evaluated, and mind you, when I was in high school, I went through things that had me grow quickly, like literally grow quickly. And those situations are in the father issue episodes and everything like that. But I evaluated, I was like, the fuck she mean by that? But you know what I mean? Like, you try to deny it back then when you're young because you're like, whatever. She don't like me. She don't like me. Cool. And then, a couple years down the road, she already has 3 kids coming out of the high school. Now, two things I can say. One, obviously, I dodged the bullet because I see her sweating her ass off, like working her ass off, and this and the fourth, and running out here back and forth. And I don't even talk to her at that point after years of, and then finding that out and everything like that. But I'm seeing her once in a blue. Don't even say what's up. I just go by whatever. Cause after that whole attempt, it was over. I was like, man, fuck that shit. Because eventually I started learning. I'm like, bro, these people don't want niceness. Maybe they want honesty, the brutal truth. They want something different. Not saying I'm gonna turn into a bad boy and none of that shit or some motherfucking dog ass motherfucker that's just out here just doing whatever. But some females just wanted the different. Something of a bad dude, like somebody out here in the streets, da 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 da, risking their life or whatever the case is, gives you 3 kids, and now you struggling. Now you over here sweating because you know what I mean. You thought it was gravy on that side, but it wasn't. So even pressures of a man of being nice, a lot of times it is ridiculous because you could even be nice to somebody and they think we flirting with them, or we're giving them hints of, oh, I like you, so let me be nice to you type of shit. Even pressures of being a nice person, it's real because you have to be careful with what you say, how you say, what you do, your mannerisms, everything as a man to make sure that you send the right message. And that's crazy how we got to do that because there were plenty of times where they was confused. It was like, well, he's a nice dude. Maybe he liked me. Maybe he wants something with me. I'm like, bro, I don't want nothing with you. I just want to be nice. This is how I am. This is my personality. Why the fuck do I either get judged on that, get misconstrued off of that, or get written off because of it? That shit is crazy. And this is off of personal experience. And that one person alone, that taught me to be like, yo, nice people do lose. People that are too nice lose, bruh. And it's crazy how that happens. And it's crazy how even those people lose, but they do. Because of the pressures of a man that we got to be a certain way in life. And that's one of my experiences in terms of being too nice. Having the pressures of being too nice is wild. That sounds crazy within itself. Pressures of a man that's being too nice. Crazy within itself. But it's out there. It is out there. The next bullet point I have is actually a clip. Because sometimes you can't talk too much. You just gotta show proof on certain things. So here we go.
Ain't no TV, y'all. Tell me why somebody invited me on a date, right? So I done did my makeup, put my outfit on. They said we going to a basketball game. Let me show y'all where the fuck they got me sitting there. I done left their ass. I'm sitting in a whole nother seat because I don't even give a fuck. Like, why would you even play with me like that? Y'all, do y'all see how high I am? Okay. And they keep texting my phone talking about where you at, where you at. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. I'm gonna find me another date.
Yo, it's crazy how you try to find a fun thing to do and you get judged off of. Now, mind you, this is a Pistons game and this is the nosebleeds, which I kind of understand why she was tight, but you tell it to that person. You don't just dub him off of that shit. You be like, oh, fuck it, you playing with me, fuck out of here. Like, it's, you see what I'm saying? Like, this is the level that we're at right now. If I don't like something, you out of here, my nigga. Like, you feel me? And I get that because we always watch for red flags and everything like that. But he actually was invited her to a basketball game, which is a conversational piece. Like, you're watching the game, whatever the case is, but you can have a conversation with somebody. You could chill with somebody over there. And I don't know. I personally don't do nosebleeds. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I do, first level shit. Like, that's bougie old me. But like, if you're in the nosebleeds, you're not really watching the game, bro. It's more about conversing, to be honest, because they look like ants out there. They look like little roaches just running back and forth. Like, you're not about to do that. So you're gonna converse. And I feel like that should have been the time of where wait. That's why he was looking for her. He was like, yo, where you at? So we could just chill, watch ants run around or whatever the case is. We converse at the same time and get to know each other. That was the mindset. But then, sometimes the delivery is a little fucked up. In his situation, was she looking for something more than that? Was she looking for him to spend more bread? We don't know off of that 1 minute clip or that 30-minute clip. But you see how people, if they just look at it like, I got nosebleeds, get the fuck out of here. When he was just trying to take her on a good time. And that's what happens out here. People just already have a preemptive thought in certain things. And they're like, oh, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to have a good time. I'll make it the best I can. And I'm going to leave with somebody else because you fucked up. That shit is crazy how we deal with shit. You feel me? Like, that's the pressures of what we got to deal with in terms of impressing somebody, having a first impression and everything, and trying our best to even get a chance to get to know you. And in that situation, I don't know what I had that clip and I was like, yo, should I even bring it up? But then again, it's to show you the reactions. It's to show you what some people do in those situations. Maybe he had the best intentions and everything, but we have a pressure to perform well even from the first time up. For example, there's a clip that talks about that.
And two of the main areas we expected to perform is finance and the bedroom. So it's like, it doesn't really matter what structure I bring into your life or what intentions I lay on the table, as long as I'm putting the bread up and laying it down. A lot of gets looked over because I'm performing, right? And those two things are consistent in friends with benefits. They work in you got to bring them to marriage. You have to bring them to boyfriend, girlfriend. So again, you gloss over a whole lot of because we kicking it. I'm paying for it, and afterwards, you getting pleased. You feel me? That man may have never actually brought any structure to your life. He just performed. And unfortunately, again, as Kitty said, when you don't necessarily take that time away to develop standards of your own, like outside of the performance, because I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the performance, but when it's empty, that's when it becomes gesture. It's just an imitation of a good man. What's important here, and shout out to tonight's conversation, they actually talk about deep shit that people really don't talk about, like in terms of relationships. And so those are one of the few podcasts I can try to listen to. I don't really listen to podcasts like that, but that would be one podcast or one panel that I can definitely listen to because they talk about deep shit. But in that clip, he was talking about the performance. He was talking about how we have to be like that. And even if we be like that, you overlook a lot of shit that could be missing because we are held to that performance. And if we are held to that performance, people get overlooked things because we're held to that performance. But that's the pressure that we got put on, that we have to have that performance, that we have to have this 100% of the time be on our A game. No human being could be 100% of the time on their A game. That usually doesn't happen. So the fact that we have the pressure of having to perform from day one and not even the first word that comes out your mouth, you might speak and they might look in your teeth and be like, I don't like your teeth. Get the fuck out of here. Like, yo, the pressure's even that alone. That's how it is, especially with those, like, especially with us. Like, we have to make sure that we on our A game, like, all the time, especially with dating. Dating, somebody said it perfectly. Dating, you get put to a point where everything is perfect. Like, you paint a perfect picture of yourself. And if you don't paint a perfect picture of yourself, you're out of here. But if you do, then you have to keep that standard. And when you keep that standard, you have to perform at an all-time high. And that takes away energy from you. That takes away time. Sometimes it takes away life from you just to keep performing to somebody that might not even be there for you in the next 3 months. And we're talking about the dating phase. One example of the dating phase is Valentine's Day. A lot of times I'll be seeing men having to go all out on Valentine's Day. And I don't see the reciprocating energy from a woman from that. Now, again, repeat it to you to the millionth time. I'm not saying all women do this. I'm saying some. And the visual part that's out there, they require the man to be on 200% on Valentine's Day, which is wild because it was celebrating love. So if we're celebrating love, we're celebrating both loves, not just one to another, not just me to you. Like that's crazy. Like I feel like it's unjust to somebody to give all that energy for that one day and the other person just takes it. I feel like it's a combined effort. Love takes two. And in that Valentine's Day thing, I feel like both parties should be equally with energy, equally giving each other the love that they deserve in the symbolic holiday, and do they thing. And do they thing with the dates, with the plans and everything like that. It should be a combined effort. Talk about dates though. The pressures of a first date is a little bit crazy. And it's nerve wracking because you want to make sure, again, you have a pressure of giving a first impression and having it being perfect so that the date can go on. I have a clip that I'm going to play you. And this is off of the pressures of being cordial and having manners
And even when you have manners in a sophisticated way, even in the shortcut way, some people put the pressure on you to act in the way that they want to act. So let's play you this. I want to see your intake on it.
Aren't you gonna get out?
No, I just opened it.
No, you're gonna open my door for me. Come out and open the door for me, or I'm not getting in.
No, it's cold outside now. You're not cold. Come inside.
Come open my door, please.
It's cold. You're already standing there now. What's just coming? I see. I turned on the car seat. The car seat is.
I don't care what you turned on. I'm not getting in the car.
Everything is on.
I'm not getting in this car until you come open the door for me. I'm a lady.
No, I get that, but you're already standing there now. It's not. It's not like I can. You know, I can. But you're there. So I'm just saying, since you're there, I've already opened it. Just get it.
I don't touch doors. So come open the door for me.
So I drove 30 minutes to get here, and I'm here. I turned on the heater, everything. Even the date we're going on is me that we pay. You see, I'll pay and I'll bring you back. So yeah, the least you can do is come and sit down. I'm offering you free seats. No,
I'm not getting in the car.
kind of.
Thank you.
This is not. This one is wild. We've never started. And
Thank you for being a gentleman.
you're ever just. It's just normal.
Thank you.
Why are you like?
I'm ready now.
You know what? Don't worry. Come on.
Are you serious?
No, just come out because I don't think this. No, come. Just come out first.
Are you serious right now?
No, come. I want to show you something.
Okay.
I want to show you something. I'm very confused. How I drove to this place. I came to pick you up. You could have met me there. I will also pay for the date. This place we are going, minimum $200 that I will spend. And I have to beg you to get in the car. It's not like I can't open.
All I was asking is that you just open
It's
the
not that I can't open door. It's just that you already standing. I opened the door twice. Don't worry. Sometimes
Where are you
sometimes
going?
you just be avoiding problem.
Where are you going?
I'm getting in my car. I'm opening my door by myself.
Are you serious? I just wanted you to be a gentleman.
No, don't worry.
Is he freaking serious right now?
So that I don't fight for your life or something.
Where are you going? We were supposed to be going on a date. Where are you going?
No, I'm going home. It's not a
Didn't you drive out here for me?
I thought I did, but clearly let me just respect myself and go home.
Wow.
Respect yourself.
Wow.
Yo, the reason I'm laughing is because in the video, and this was on Twitter, and there's a conversation about it. In the video, he actually opens the door from the inside and basically whips the door out open for her. Instead of going outside and holding the door and opening it for her, like if he does the gentleman way of it, he actually opens the door from the inside and brings it out to her so that she don't touch the door and that she could just walk in and sit down. She closes the door. Mind you, she stated she don't touch doors. She closes the door. Then he opens from the inside again because he's sitting on the inside of the driver's seat, reaches to the door, the passenger door, and opens it again for her from the inside. And again, the door whips out. And again, she shuts off the door. Excuse me, she shuts the door on him and saying, "Come outside and open it for me." Now, everybody is in their right to be a gentleman in the way that they want to be. And yes, sometimes you do want to have the perfect impression of the first date. Mind you, he said he was going to take her out of town, take her on a restaurant that costs $200 or more, everything like that. But the little thing that she wanted that man to go outside to open the door for her and wait for her to go in. Whereas it was cold outside, so what he did was instead of going out and walk like the 5 steps, which takes no effort or whatever the case is, but he was like, you know what? Let me open the door for you from the inside because it's cold, whatever. Open the inside. And it's a Tesla, so you open the door, boom, boom, it opens out, and you could just walk in without touching the door. And I think in the modern way, that's being a gentleman. That the lady's still not touching the door, is whipping out for her so that she don't touch the door. She just has a seat. But she didn't think about it that way. She was like, yo, I'ma need you to come out here, hold my door, hold my nuts, hold this dick. Like, you feel me? All this type of shit. Like, yo, she basically was trying to punk him in a sense of like, yo, you gonna do this. And he eventually went outside. He was like, that's some bullshit, you know. Da, 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 da. He went out, he walked around, opened the passenger side door. She walked in, she was like, thank you. And then he was like, nah, I'm good. Shout out to him because he was like, bro, if this is a big deal for you and you acting this way, bro, there's no reason I should be here. And he was like, yo, you know what? Nah, bro, I'm gonna avoid things, bro. Yo, step outside the car. And she was like, you being for real? You being for real? And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna respect myself, so I'm gonna go home. Shout out to him. And the reason I agree with him because he actually was trying to do something for her. It wasn't like he was like, nah, I ain't open the door for her. Just clicked it. Just open the door. Boom, boom, boom. He actually did it from the inside. And he whipped the door out so that she won't have to touch the door. She could just walk in like it's red carpet and sit down like a lady. And then maybe what he should have done after that was grab the door from the inside again and have her not even touch the door or go outside after she hopped in and have her to close the door. I don't know if Tesla does the automatic door shit where it shuts. I don't know that because I ain't do my research on Teslas like that. But the first step was you wasn't touching the door. He opened it from the outside. Like, yo, and I'm telling you, the fact that I'm explaining to you this, having a 3-minute clip and explaining it to you this on the simple detail of opening the door goes to show you the amount of pressure that goes on the first date as a man. What you got to do, how you got to say things, what conversations, what questions had to come out of your head and everything like that. If she's interested in everything like that, you start to realize, you see how I'm rambling on with all these things? This is all for the first date alone. So imagine the pressures of a man in terms of dating, even the first date. And that clip alone shows it. That little detail alone brought up a 3-minute clip about how she wanted that man to go outside to open the door when he did it anyway from the inside. That to me, whew, I'm yes, it shows chivalry to go outside, but if he's opening the door still so that you don't have to touch the door, and if he has a way of shutting the door without you having to touch it, boy, why are you complaining? Like, what the fuck? Like, this is the pressures of being a man on a first date. And that goes to show you that is one little detail out of how many hours or days you gonna spend with that person. So yes, we do have pressures on that too. Anyways, to move on, because that's ridiculous. Like that clip is to move on. I'm gonna start playing clips. 'Cause I'm tired of talking. I'm just gonna show you some shit. Maybe some put a little input in between. I'm gonna let it rock.
Very gorgeous though, but I don't like that you put the fake flower in your vest trying to make it look better than what it was. Yeah. I don't like that you brought a fake briefcase. There's probably nothing in there, and it's also halfway open. You should probably close it. Well, also, I don't like that the fact that you get your hair. I mean, the hair done. It's done. It's done. So why didn't you show your hair? That's what I wanted to do today. I understand. I just want to see your hair though. I get it. You feel me? I've dealt with, you feel me, Chicago women most of my life. You okay? You feel me? Me and your brother probably sound alike because we done been through the same struggles. You feel me? But I could respect that. I just wanted to know what you was thinking about. That's all that was. It's just weird talking to my little brother. So no problem. You can't say little. We the same age, darling. Let's be respectful.
You sound like him though.
That's because we from the same place. So you don't like
No,
you don't
it's
like
not.
people from your hometown.
I never said
And
that.
that's respectful.
I just want a man with a higher vocabulary,
Okay.
which you don't have on your day-to-day speak.
I talk like where I was born from. I got a real like respect. I can't let you like you feel me throw down what I've been through. You feel me?
I never said that you went through it.
You tried though, darling.
No, I
You feel me?
didn't.
So I want you to know like I'm really from struggle. I speak a
crazy.
certain type of way, but I've searched for education. I have a bachelor's
That's
degree.
fine.
You feel me? What I do right now, I work with people every day. So I don't want you to just throw shade on hood in general.
Doesn't throw
Because
shade
I
on you,
speak
Lynn.
with a little slang. I got a little hood to me, but I'm educated, baby.
No, that's fine.
We can move forward. Thank you.
Do I gotta say anything else? Like, I want somebody with expanded vocabulary on a day to day speak. You realize when she said that, he was like day to day speak, like, but you want a nigga with like a advanced vocabulary? Like, what the fuck is moving on?
And why you popped your balloon?
Okay. Hi, my name is Mukio and I'm 21. I popped my balloon because your name is Gary. but I did, look for another balloon because you probably sound like Pop Smoke when you wake up in the morning. So
Okay. Okay.
So it's just his name.
Just my name.
That's why you pop. What's wrong with the name Gary?
on the save the date, it would say Mukio and Gary. And people know that I like SpongeBob. So I just don't, I don't think it would be
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay. It sounds like you need to pop my mama and daddy balloon. I can't control that one, but okay.
Off the fucking name. Like, yo, when I seen that clip, boy, again, most of these clips, I'm thanking everybody I've been preach that popped the balloon show with Arlette, Twitter, everybody that has inputted on this. If I forgot somebody, my fault. I ain't trying to take no credit off of that. You know what I'm saying? But tonight's conversation, that's another one that I think. But this one was off the Pop the Balloon, the dating show. And she popped it because of his fucking name. Your fucking name. You can't control that. Like, I don't understand people. Like, yo, for real, I'm ending it on this. I have to, because the pressures of even having your name as something that you couldn't even control as a baby, you get dubbed on because of that. As a man, that's wild. Like, imagine I was like, yo, fuck the name Amanda because I don't like the name Amanda. That shit is wild to me. Like, for me, it's something of my head is on some bullshit. So I definitely gotta I thank you guys for giving me all this inspiration. All the people that I use clips on, like, I'm not using it for commercial purposes, none of that stuff. Like, everything is educational purposes only. And this is to educate people that this is what we're looking forward to. This is what we're seeing. And this is sad that the pressures of a man get put into an all-time high with some people. In an all-time high. This is why a lot of people are single. A lot of people still looking. A lot of people, including myself, say, yo, if you're in a relationship and it's worth it, yo, stay in that shit, because out here is wilding. And it's facts. This is the proof. This is some of the proof. I have more clips and more things. But this is part one. Because there's two things I want to do with this segment. One, I'm only one man. I may want different opinions. People have different views on it, especially as a man. I'm not the only man in the earth. I want more opinions on what pressures you get put on, especially from women, from dating, from relationships, anything like that. What kind of pressures do you get? That's part one. Part two, and I think is the most important thing, since I come from a man perspective, I obviously am going to need a woman perspective. So I also need input on that. What kind of pressures do we put on y'all? So that eventually this can be an educational experience to show, look, these are the things that we get put through, and these are the things that y'all get put through. How do we resolve it to be more in mesh with each other? Instead of this little Cold War, proxy war thing that's going on that, all podcasts, all people think in this way. I think it's more exposed because we have social media. Have we been thinking this way for a while? Maybe. But the fact that we have social media, it exposes it times 100. So let me know your thoughts, your opinions, your emotional outbursts, your things. Again, and I'm going to put this disclaimer out there for the 15 millionth time. This is only about some things that I've seen. This is not a generalization towards all women. This is the things that we've seen in the outside world. So I appreciate all the feedback, all the future feedback, all the future collaborations that's going to happen, because this is a topic that I want not only my voice involved, but I want everybody else's voices to put their input and describe what the pressures of a man or a woman is. So, with that being said, I'm fucking out of here. This was too long, too draining. Because you're hearing all this shit, you're like, bro, what the fuck? And I'll be back soon. Hopefully with the pressures of a man part 2 or pressures of a woman part 1. Bro, let's make it happen. Holla at me. Y'all know where I be at. I'm gone.